Have you ever procrastinated on trying out a new coaching skill or a new communication skill because you were afraid that if you did it, you might come across as inauthentic, or you might come off as kind of clunky in how you use it, or maybe the conversation or the situation is going well, and if you try something new, you might screw it up? If yes, you're really going to enjoy the content of today's video, because in this video I'm going to share with you a simple technique that I've used for myself and that I recommend for my mentoring and coaching clients that you'll be able to apply pretty much instantly in your life without needing any additional skill. So if you're interested in learning about that, then you're in the right place. So I was working with a one-on-one mentoring client fairly recently, and he came up to me and he had an interesting situation. He told me that he knew about this NLP skill for probably over 10 years now. He's known what it is, why it's important, he knows how to do it, and yet for some reason he was not able to actually do it in the situations where it would be important for him. For his particular context, this was a sales context. So this was something that he wanted to apply with people who were leads and who were interested in using his products and services. But the same thing could apply with a coaching client, for example, where you have this new coaching process, this new NLP or neurosemantic skill, and you're not really using it with your clients because you're afraid you might screw it up, you might not do it right, you might come off as clunky or inauthentic, and then everything would go wrong, and well, this person's either paying me or this person could be paying me down the line. The pressure. So what was the solution that I used for myself, because I can relate with that, and what do I recommend for you if you are ever finding yourself in that situation? The simple solution is not, of course there's stuff we can do to change your frame of mind around mistakes and to reframe yourself as a fallible human being, and I recommend all that stuff, and I've got videos on those topics on my YouTube channel. But the simple hack is to actually work at the environmental or the contextual level. So what does that mean? That means, well, if you're trying to use your new skill in a high-stakes situation where there's potentially, I guess, money on the line or even your livelihood on the line, well, I could imagine that there would be a lot of pressure there, and it's probably not the best time to try out a new play in the big game, right? You don't want to try out the new play, for my people who know American football. You don't want to try a new play, a new sequence in the Super Bowl. You want to try it out in practice a couple of times before you bring it to the big game. And so that's really the solution, is to try it in some more simple context or less complicated or less high stakes context before you bring it into the big game. So what are some examples of ways that we can practice our skills in more low stakes contexts? So one of the ways that I did it was I would just ask my friends if I could practice something with them. I would say, hey, would it be all right with you if I tried this new skill with you? And I would find a couple of people who consistently over time would be kind of my test rabbits, the people who would be open to, maybe they'll get a change, maybe they won't get a change, but at least they have the possibility of doing it. And you'll always, hopefully you'll be able to find at least one person in your life who would be open to the possibility of trying something new, of communicating with you in a different way, and then to give you some feedback. So that's one great way to do it. Find some friends or family member who would be open to experiment and to allow you to try something in a more low stakes environment. Another way to do that would be to do it with someone who's on a similar pathway as you. So maybe you've got a friend who wants to become a coach, or a friend who wants to become a better salesman, or a friend who has similar outcomes and goals as you, and you guys can kind of swap buddy coaching, right? So you could practice with them, have them practice with you, and then give each other feedback. So that's another great way that you could practice. Of course, in my Insiders group mentoring program, that's one of the benefits that I hear people share, is that they get to have somebody who's on a similar journey to practice the skills with before they bring it out into the real world with their family members and with their clients or their potential clients, or in situations that they really they don't want to screw it up, that they might want to try it out first. So I hope this tip was valuable for you. If you want to implement a new skill in your communications with other people, Try it out a couple of times. Find somebody or some group of people or a couple of people that you could try it out with in a low stakes environment. And through practicing it with those people over and over again, your confidence in your skills will increase to the point where one day you'll say, you know what, I feel like I'm ready to try this in the real game, not just in practice. And if you develop a consistent habit of practicing in low stakes environments until your skills become you become confident enough to bring the skills into the real situations, into the real world, and you continually do that with lots of different skills, then you are on the pathway to mastery. So I hope you found this video valuable. I'm Jason Schneider, founder of the Perception Academy. I work with coaches, leaders, and personal developers to unleash the highest and best of human potential. And if you like this video or you know someone who would, feel free to like it, to share it, and of course to subscribe. I hope you implement this, try it out in a low stakes environment, and feel free to leave your questions and comments below. Have an awesome rest of your day, and see you in a future video.